The goal today is to look at another method of solving systems of equations called elimination. These are the steps. Create a pair of opposites. By that I mean same number, different sign. So say a positive 4x and a negative 4x. That's a pair of opposites. Or a negative 3y and a positive 3y. That's a pair of opposites. Once that's done, you add the two equations together. This will eliminate one of the variables, allowing us to solve what's left so we can substitute and find the other variable. Take a moment to write that out in your toolkit, and then we'll take a look at our examples here. Now, it doesn't have to be in standard form, meaning looking like this. So your x's and y's on one side, a number on the other. This is just the most helpful form to keep things organized. So that's what we mean when we say standard form. You got x's, y's number, x's, y's equal number. For the ones you do today, the first step will already be done for you. You will not need to multiply anything. We're going to move right ahead to noticing we already have a pair of opposites, like in this first example, a positive 1x and a negative 1x, and go ahead and add these equations together. Now, yes, you can add equations. It's exactly the same thing as adding and subtracting numbers because equations represent numbers and number relationships. Here's what happens and why it's called the elimination method. If you have x plus negative x, you're left with 0 x's. We've eliminated the x from the equation. There just isn't an x anymore. Over here then, 4y's and 7y's is 11y's. And then over here, negative 14 plus negative 8 is negative 22. And I hope you can see we then end up with a much simpler equation to solve. So we did the first step, it was already done. There was a set of opposites. We added the two equations. We're now going to solve for the first variable, which in this case is the y. So at division by 11, we end up with y equals negative 2. Once that's done, take that negative 2. We're going to substitute that for y in one of the earlier equations so we can then solve for the second variable, which is the x this time. Now, it doesn't matter which of these two equations you pick. Either one will work. I'm just going to pick the one that was on the top because it's on the top. So x plus 4 times the y. Now, here's the trick, right? We know what number y is now. Y is the number negative 2. So let's do that multiplication. So x minus 8 is negative 14. Add the 8 over. And we should end up with then that x is negative 14 plus 8 is negative 6. So our solution, at least we think, we're going to check it, is that x is negative 6 and y is negative 2. In your solutions, make sure you list the x first every single time, and then the y second every single time. All right, let's give it a check. So if I put negative 6 in the x spot, negative 2 in the y spot, negative 6 minus 8, negative 14, that one works. Here it would be 6, because the opposite of negative 6 is just 6, plus negative 14, which is negative 8, that one works too. So we know we've done things right. Well, let's go again. Once again, things are set up real nicely for us here. I already have a set of opposites. This time, though, notice it's the y's that are going to cancel each other away. So take our equations, add them together. Negative 3x minus 5x is going to be negative 8x's. Negative 5y plus 5y is 0 y's. No more y's, that's why we call it elimination. And over here, 18 plus negative 10 is 18 minus 10, which is just 8. Solve for the x. Okay, then pick one of these equations. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to choose the second one this time. We think we know what number x is. So where I see the letter x, I'm going to put the number in there that I think x is. We don't know y yet, so we're leaving that as the variable. -5 times -1 is just 5. Okay, I want to get y by itself. And a division to finish out. So our solution, at least we think, we're going to check it. -1, -3, x first, y second. That would give me here 3 plus 15 is 18. And that would give me here 5 minus 15, which is -10. So it works out okay.